Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and I've got to turn the audio on that off. Right, now with that out of the way, I welcome every single one of you out there to another Rage video where today, ladies and gentlemen, with kind of how, deep and a bit heavy I was yesterday, let's have some fun today. I've got the day off work because literally the story is that I was like 3 stops away from getting to work. Then I get a text off my boss saying that somebody contracted COVID and they had to shut the office for the day. So here I am, and it's about nearly 20 to 11 to 20 to 12 in the morning, and we're gonna do some Top Gear today, ladies and gentlemen. But this isn't maybe the one you've been expecting. This is Top Ground Gear Force. Now, in case you needed like a little bit of reminding, back in about 2007, Top Gear decided it would be a brilliant idea to do ground force for sport. It was either comic or sport relief. I can't quite remember which one. And they decided they were going to mend somebody's garden. I remember about hearing this premise, but I never actually really saw anyone like talk about it. In fact, considering when it was on 14 years ago, I can barely remember it now. I don't even remember whose garden they did up. But, ladies and gentlemen, because at some point in the near future, I'm going to be doing like reviews to the Grand Tour, as well as some of the specials like Seaman, as well as Clarkson's Farm. Let's have some fun and check out some vintage Top Gear. I don't even think you could even come close to replacing these guys. I mean, what we're gonna get next? We're gonna get the Stig's green-fingered cousin. It's gonna be Alan Stigmarsh or something like that. Anyway, let's begin.
Hello, and I've just trodden in some dog poo.
Nice
Never
wellies, by
mind.
the way.
I'm sure you all remember the TV show Ground Force.
I do, actually, yeah.
The idea was that some people with regional accents would come round to your house while you were out and do up your garden. Then you'd
I should point out they actually do have that again. It's called like Garden Rescue or whatever it is. It's basically where some middle-class people decide that somebody's garden is not good enough and they basically invade it. It's about as formulaic as you could possibly get.
come home, cry with unbridled joy, and then everyone would have some warm pomain. Now, sadly, it isn't on anymore, so we thought it'd be a good idea to bring it back. I mean, gardening. How hard can it be?
Well, I should imagine very hard.
Well, we're going to find out. This is the team. There's Handy Hammond, James E. Dimmock, May, and then we've got some Poles who actually do all the work. Anyway, let's get cracking.
And they did the intro as well. That's beautiful. Oh, this is going to be bad.
The lucky recipient of our top Ground Gear Force garden makeover is a sporting legend. 5 times Olympic gold medalist Sir Steve Redgrave, a man whose shoulders are thicker than my torso.
It's quite ironic, actually, that this would be an Olympic hero, because in the years following it, we've had a cyclist called Chris Hoy, who's won 6 gold medals, who's received a knighthood, and following the Tokyo 2021 Olympics, we've had, I sadly can't quite remember what his name was, but he was also a cyclist, and he's won his 7th gold medal, and he's sure to receive his knighthood, I reckon. But with that being said, rowing, because I've had an old friend throughout school who was who's always wanted to join the Navy, and he's a very, very strong rower as well. He's not nearly as muscular as someone like Redgrave in his prime, but you wouldn't get past him.
Great Britain on the line. Here we go. Great Britain get the gold medal and relief all round.
And triumph for Steve Redgrave. 5 in a row. What a hero.
This is his garden, and this is his wife, Lady Anne. Now, he really doesn't know, does he, that we're doing this? I mean, hand on heart.
Absolutely. No idea at all.
Because everyone on television believes it. You know, nobody believes a word on television.
That
He
is
really
true.
genuinely does not know.
Has no idea.
This is just fantastic. Now, the garden. Have you got any ideas? Anything you want?
Well, Steve likes water features. He tried one over there around the corner, so you could try one of those. It does trickle over the top of the pot.
No, I might
And
be
a
able
fish
to.
in the bottom.
I could improve on a trickle. I do. I like fountains. No, we can do
Other
that.
than that, I don't mind so long as it looks reasonable.
No, it'll look reasonable. I just think with a few features, I think would be good.
Well, we have our tree house.
No, that's good. We could sort of, paths to it and stuff like that. No, that'd be good. Now, he's home, so Steve is home in
Well, he'd be about 5 o'clock tonight.
5 o'clock, so it's 8:30 now. What's the maths on that? 9, 6, 7, 8.5 hours. We need to get cracking.
Right, now since I'm the only country bumpkin on the team, I'm in charge. And since I'm also the only one who went to art college, I've drawn the plans. So here's what we're going to do. There's a house, there's a garage, so it's over there. Now,
That's
so
a
Steve
very
Redgrave is a
large
very
garden,
busy
I
man.
must say.
So when he comes home, he likes to relax. So I've got a sort of family chill-out barbecue area here with some decking overlooking a bed full of flowers. And then there's here a river of gravel cascading down through the garden to this, which is one of those seats that goes round a tree.
Where's the water feature?
Well, there isn't one.
Why not? All that matters in a garden is a water feature.
No, sorry, all that matters in a garden is a shed.
No, look, there isn't a shed or a water feature, all right?
So a garden should speak of the man.
It does.
There's nothing here that says Olympic rower.
There's a river of gravel.
That's just annoying. It goes, no, it's just, look, you've got to walk miles to get to the
That's the
seat.
theme of the garden,
It's-
a river of gravel.
It's rubbish.
He's going to come out of his house and it's going to take him all
You're
week
just
to
gonna
wend
walk
his
across here,
way.
You're just going to walk all over there. You know.
And this bed,
Yeah.
you're doing the hoeing.
I am not doing any hoeing.
I don't even know what hoeing is.
Yeah, well,
And
hoeing
anyway, you
is
don't need a hoe. There's only one tool you need for gardening. And I've got it.
It's a hammer.
It'll be a hammer. It's not a hammer.
This
Is that a hoe?
is all you... No, it isn't. No, if you want to remove a plant, say, OK, there are no thistles at this time of year, but imagine they're thistles. How do you get them up?
Well, you take one of these, which is a trowel,
Yeah.
and then you approach it like that, and you dig round it, lift it, and there it is.
That took you
About 30 seconds.
dirty fingernails, cricked back.
It's gardening, that's what you do.
OK, now let me show you how I would remove it, OK? See these three here? Ready?
Well, granted, they're gone, but you
They're
can't,
gone.
You can't garden with a
They
shotgun.
have
Has
ceased.
ceased to exist, probably. You know what? I can't even be mad. Yeah, absolutely, that's how you do it. Oh, God, like... I would freaking, like, take you through a walkthrough of what my family have done to our garden, because it's... Our garden, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I'm not going to start, like, making into this a competition about who's got the best garden, but in the height of any summer, you get every single colour of the rainbow in our back garden. And you get just about every insect, every bee in the world comes to gardens like that. It is a smorgasbord for people who are fortunate enough not to be colourblind.
To exist. Observe the genius of my gardening.
I'd rather he had a hammer.
You do realise we've already wasted an hour.
Hammond sent James and I off to get supplies at something called a garden centre. It was a place which seemed to be mostly full of sheds. And what kind of nerd would find those interesting?
He does strike me as someone who loves
I, however,
sheds.
wasn't experiencing such joy. Why does everything have to be in Latin? Every single Hermalis intermedia palladia. Presumably that's Latin for dead twig in some mud. Everything's dead. Look, it's all just dead.
I agree with him, actually. I'm sorry to keep pausing, but a couple of about 8 or so weeks ago, when I was doing shopping to get something for my sister's 22nd birthday, she directed me to a site that literally was all full of plants, but every single one of them was in Latin. I'm not joking. Everything was in Latin, and some of the the only difference is that some of the plants did actually look very impressive. They had to be with how much they were charging for them. I once had to pay 15 quid for a very small cactus in a plant pot.
It's all dead, look, just a forest of deadness. What's this? Just...
That's a rose.
Will it grow by 5 o'clock this afternoon?
No, I'm afraid not, no.
In the shed zone, James was struggling to find something which matched his rigorous standards.
Now this is dangerously close to being a gazebo, which means it will be misappropriated, look, by people on exercise bicycles.
Do you have any gorgonzola here?
Gorgonzola?
Gorgonzola.
I'll go and check for you.
Thanks. I don't mean gorgonzola, do I? That's a cheese. It's bougainvillea I meant. So what's alive that I could have? There's no point paying for daffodils, just go and nick those from a roundabout. No, I'm looking for something for a garden. A rower's garden.
Right.
I've been sent to get plants, but I just don't know, other than gorgonzola, what's it called? Gonorrhea.
Tree ferns?
Have you got any syphilis?
This is heading in the right direction, the 6x4 Apex shed of Shiplap Construction. It's a very simple structure, it has a window, but it's not really the shed for a man of the stature of 5 times Olympic gold medal winning Sir Steve Redgrave, CBE. We want something bigger.
Finally, I found something I recognised. Greenhouses. I know what they're for. You can use them for growing apples and meat. Eggs, stuff like that, stuff that need to be warm, go in there. Or get one of those. Look at this. It's a Chlamydia lawsonina, or as Richard Hammond calls it, it's a mighty Scotch pine.
Oh, okay, a height joke, okay.
So far, we'd been on the job for 2 hours, and Sir Redgrave's garden had gone from looking like this to looking like this. But no matter, we were men on the move.
Oh boy.
That'll...
Honestly, I just think she fell off it or something. Put it back.
Good.
Right.
In the garden, the Poles set about building the greenhouse. And with his usual sense of urgency, James started on the shed.
Well, there's the hammer.
Oh, yes.
Hammond,
that's a
meanwhile, was
really cute
preparing
dog.
to dig the foundations for his rivers of gravel. Hammond!
What?
You've got to wear that.
What?
You've got to wear that.
Why?
Because health and safety.
Health and safety. You know what? Actually, you know what? Well, I like that, Clarkson. You know what? I like that. You know what I'm gonna do? In the spirit of health and safety. You know what? Don't worry, I got you guys. You know, this is the very special occasion where every so often I have to get my old high vis jacket out. There you are. Keep us healthy and safe. Health and safety. So now you guys can see me better. Excellent job.
Be healthy and safe.
Safe from what? Right.
With Hammond protected from certain death, I got cracking with my water feature. Right, I want a trench 4 yards long, 1 yard wide, metre, and 1 metre deep. A trench. Trench. But like Charles Bronson, he was Polish in The Great Escape. Go on, dig. Dig. Dig.
Quantity 1, heavy-duty workshop door end. Heavy-duty workshop plane end. 2 heavy-duty workshop window panels, yes. two heavy-duty workshop planes.
This was ridiculous. James had to be reminded that we were against the clock.
Yeah.
Windows.
Isn't it? But you've spent like half an
Yeah, but
hour.
if the screws are not in the right lengths and the wrong holes, you get end up at the end of the shed with the wrong screw left over and it won't be long enough. And then you have to
Build
dismantle
the
true,
shed.
I'm building the shed.
You're not
This is
building
part
the
of
shed,
building
you're
the shed.
naming your tools.
Oh god.
Is this your tape measure?
Might be.
Right, before we go any further, it's time for a quick reminder of why Alan has just shot a tape measure.
I suppose the point there is that I think there would like be a segment where they explain about where the money's going to if you donate to Sport Relief. It makes sense in all honesty. I know fine well. I think like Terry Wogan. I think he always presented comic Sport Relief. Well, just for to make sure.
Good news! In the time it's taken Jamesy Dimmock to organise his tools and Handy Hammond to dig a 6-inch hole, the poles have already got the glass in
He's
the
just
greenhouse.
spinning in
And this is my
circles.
water feature. It's arrived. And it is. Well, it's an exquisite piece, it really is. The only trouble is it comes with the Nissan Micra of pumps. This will only shift, what, a gallon of water a minute. So what I've done is brought along this. This is the Ferrari Enzo of pumps. Comes from the world of quarrying, and this will shift
Hammond
50
is just in the background, literally just playing with the freaking digger. Although I must admit, looking at this, and you have to remember, Clarkson's 6'5" tall, and that's like two Clarksons put against one another, because that's a wow. Just look at that though.
15,000 gallons a minute. Now, unfortunately, you do need a generator to run it, but that's arriving now on the back of the articulated lorry over there.
That's a big generator.
Now, the great thing about this pump is that it gives me flexibility. You can either have, I don't know, a little tinkling, gentle
God damn it.
dribble of water, or you can crank it up a bit and have the...
Yeah, I've made that worse.
That's not gone well, has it?
No, it's fine. It's this is so I can get in to cut. How the hell did that happen with my hi-fi on?
Well, what you've just done is prove that all the health and safety executives' advice is pointless, meddling twaddle.
That's a good point.
This
I
is-
don't
if
even
I'm
know why I'm
honest,
wearing
it
this
didn't
iPad,
help.
to be honest. I kind of lost the point.
At no point did the vest say.
That's kind of, yeah. Well, come on, just push it up.
You won't be able to push it
will.
up. You won't.
You
It weighs-
will.
What? Whoever made a lightweight digger? If they were light,
James, get down and push.
if they were light, they'd fall
That's a
over.
good point.
It's heavier than I thought.
Turns out to be quite heavy.
It is much heavier than I thought.
We're going to need a bigger digger.
Oh no.
Hammond went and got a bigger digger, which proceeded to turn this little piece of Marlow into the Somme.
Oh my god.
I mean, it will grow back. As a gardener, I can tell you that. It's grass. It grows back.
Look at that.
Hammond, you're ruining the lawn. The lawn is being ruined. Where does it say on your plans, big digger marks?
I've got to turn the digger around to pull the other digger up.
Over the next half hour, all he managed to do was lacerate the lawn even more.
He doesn't strike me as a lawn type of bloke, Sir Steve Redgrave.
What, you think he prefers tractor marks and
I
mud?
don't think he'll be that fussed.
But then the digger fiasco was interrupted by the arrival of my concrete. The smell of civilization arriving. All right, chaps, if you can My take genius that- plan was to concrete over the lawn. There's like a little...
Where
Why?
are my plans? Does it say concrete?
Concrete's better than grass. Sir Steve Redgrave is a busy man. He hasn't got time to mow his lawn every 20 minutes. With this, you just have to hoover it in the autumn.
But it looks shit.
It doesn't. Grass looks shit because it fills up with watercress. And
Sorry, Clarkson. I have to agree with Hammond here. In what world does concrete just look better than grass? That's a bit like saying that those pretentious trees that have been all cut into like the shape of a cube. It's a bit like saying that they're better than the real thing. They're just not.
And lawns give me hay fever.
But you don't live here.
Well, maybe they give Sir Steve Redgrave hay fever.
Oh, for God's sake. Does Sir Steve Redgrave get hay fever?
No,
Do you get hay fever?
no,
Does any member of Sir Steve Redgrave's family get hay fever?
no.
Wait. While those two were bickering over the lawn, my shed was taking shape nicely. The thing you've got to remember is that everything good in the world, especially everything good that ever came out of Britain, came out of a shed. Radio, television, jet engine, printing press, and in other countries, the aeroplane, the hot air balloon. See, the thing about this shelf is that on it, one day, will rest a component that Sir Stephen Redgrave, CBE, 5 times Olympic gold medalist, will pick up and use to create something brilliant. And that can only happen because people have sheds with stuff in them. You see what I mean?
My hay fever removal system had hit a snag. I ordered 20 tons of concrete, which I thought would be enough to do the whole lawn. In fact, it's only going to be able to do an area this big, which means that this is all still going to be grass. And look what Hammond's done. There isn't enough concrete to cover this bit of lawn.
Do you think Sir Steve Redgrave is going to be particularly upset that we haven't been able to concrete the bit of lawn that we've driven over with a massive digger? Which is worse? We decided to worry about the digger issue later, because on the other side of the garden, the ever-efficient poles had finished my tree seat. It goes round a tree, and then you can sit any side and just admire the view.
I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm beginning to notice like one small flaw with this plan. Isn't the idea you're supposed to like build it round the tree? He hasn't thought this through at all, has he?
And this is exactly how you designed it, is it?
Yep, it is.
So how are you going to get it around the tree?
Yeah.
Well, you could plant a tree in the middle and then it would grow in place.
Yes.
Yes, you could, if Sir Steve Redgrave wasn't coming home for 200 years.
You could lower it from the top.
Yeah, but
So
what about... Look at all the branches.
Yeah, you need like
No,
a helicopter.
I can deal with
for that.
those.
He's tall, but that is ambitious. You can't prune a tree with a shock.
Yes, you can. This is going well.
It's not working.
It is working.
It's not.
Oh yes, we're going to have a massive bonfire with your prunings.
As I blew the tree to pieces with my under and over hoe, the crane arrived that would lower the seat into place.
How is that even going to...
Mind the tree.
Sorry. Shit.
Oh yeah, one bench solution system.
Happily, Hammond's crane didn't have tracks. Unhappily, it weighed 14 tons.
Oh no.
I've got my crane stuck is what I've done.
What you've done now is ruined a bit more of the lawn.
I know this is like a very stupid time to bring this up, but how much damage do you think they've actually managed to do to this poor man's garden? I think quite enough, because listen, I'm not exactly the biggest, gardener in the world or somebody who's really that interested in that sort of thing, but I would have very strong feelings about somebody literally just vandalizing my own garden. I'm just putting it out there. You know what I should probably do? What I should do is that I should get a house in the countryside somewhere, but build like a wall. I'm thinking of something maybe about 30 feet tall by about 250 yards in width, and then invite people to like vandalize it or to make their own art on it. Maybe we could do like a community sort of like a you know, it's as opposed to putting people apart, we're bringing people together in the art of vandalism. Sometimes, I think it's the best. That's why I got this. That's where the idea is coming from. I can't even help but wonder whether or not these colours technically clash, or whether or not this is just an example of just how I've almost never really changed my shirt in the last 3 months. Oh.
It's no biggie.
Technically, it's more of a jersey than a shirt, but you know.
No biggie.
Although the crane had sunk into Sir Steve Redgrave's lawn, luckily the arm was long enough to reach my tree seat.
Steady. A foot. A foot. No, up. No, you've got to lift it.
Oh no!
No. Come on, you idiot, man. Honestly. How can you be so useless, man?
Oh, no,
He's really...
Listen, honestly, that's the only bit of this project that has gone properly. The shed was up and perfect, and you've wrecked the shed, and you've wrecked your stupid, idiotically designed
No, this is a
policy
loss.
bench.
That pilot
No, it's not a loss. It's not a loss. That is not. It isn't, because it turns out that this
It doesn't matter.
this is no good for shooting branches off.
No, but the river of gravel cascading majestically
God.
through the garden to end in the
Have
tree
you
seat
any
is now
idea
spoiled. What?
how far we are from a river of gravel running through your garden? Look what it's got. It's got a river of track marks, a broken, stupid toy digger in a hole.
There's a few sites along the way on the river of the crane stuck.
And look at the holes. Look at that.
That is.
It has gone. How long have we been here? 4 hours, 5 hours? It's gone backwards.
Guys, we do need to
Oh,
speed
my.
up.
I'd say the music. Oh, he's okay.
So, in just 5 hours, we dug a trench, crashed a digger, knocked over a shed, concreted half the lawn, ruined the other half with caterpillar tracks, broken a seat, shot some flowers, and wounded one of the poles. But the greenhouse was looking good.
It does actually. I'll give him that.
And a short while later, James had his shed back up as well.
And now for another timely reminder of why we're here.
Well, that's quite nice. That looks nice.
So you see, you take the big spanner off, you can see the big spanner is missing, put the big spanner on, you know it's in the right place. If Jeremy Clarkson came in here and did that, you'd see immediately that that is not the correct spanner for that peg. That should be on there, and that should be on there.
With James suffering from an industrial bout of OCD, I set about removing Sir Redgrave's flower bed.
I actually like the idea. Call me mad.
method for removing an unwanted rockery is a shovel. Excuse me, guys, can we just hold the music? Just for a second, can we hold the music? Thanks. As I was saying, shovel, crowbars, lots of elbow grease. There is, however, another way. What you need is some sugar, some fertiliser, a length of wire, some electricity, and a plunger
Are those balls
like we
there
have
for
here.
what I think is going to happen next?
Okay.
Oh no.
Fire the pole! That usually clears them.
Oh no. The silence.
James didn't take the news well.
Look what you've done to my bloody shed, man!
I had this bomb, and that'll buff out.
I saw the 2x4 James had in his hands. Oh. I had this bomb. You know what? I reckon when the day comes to my funeral and somebody comes up to do the eulogy, and I bet it'll be probably one of my best mates who probably will explain what happened, and I reckon the first thing he'll probably say is that we had this bomb, and it didn't work. It was supposed to, it was supposed to be like one of those like party bombs and that. It was supposed to give him, a bit of a surprise, and then he just collapsed on the ground.
What time is this programme on? Is it 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Is it 10 o'clock on BBC Two?
Yes.
Are we beyond the watershed?
Yes.
You're a fuck...
Guys,
What have you done?
I thought it was more set, and I went through it, and I'm
Why are they
stuck
following it?
in your concrete.
Oh, for God's sake!
What?
You've left footmarks.
Well, it was hardly perfect to start with, was it? You've already ruined the lawn with your concrete, and now I've walked on it. I'm sorry.
It was supposed to look like lawn. How can it look like lawn with...
It's not green. How can it look like
Please
lawn?
stop the music. Can we stop? Please. Stop it.
Oh.
Soon we had Hammond free, and as James rebuilt his shed, again, I began work on me rugby posts.
What?
And then bring it along, because you've got to push,
What are you doing now?
it's rugby posts.
Have you brought anything that's on my plan?
No.
No.
And how do you even know that Sir Steve Redgrave likes rugby?
Well, I do.
Does Sir Steve Redgrave play rugby?
No.
Do you play rugby?
No.
Does any member of Sir Steve Redgrave's family play rugby?
No.
Heave!
This is like just.
Come on! Yes!
How are you even supposed to play rugby
Yes!
with all those trees in the way anyway?
Jeremy,
What?
no member of the Sir Steve Redgrave family plays rugby.
Well, I'll be able to then.
Well,
Oh, come on, no.
actually they won't.
Again, James was very angry with me.
Oh.
I think you've got something to say to me, haven't you?
I'm surprised how heavy rugby posts are.
Something along the lines of, I'm sorry, James, I am a fully rigged, rate
You two,
A1,
you two,
ocean-going
Sir Steve
pillar.
Redgrave will be here in half an hour. We've got to speed up again.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, okay, just, yeah. Can't see it. Out of sight, out of mind. Perfect.
James's shed was mended again. The digger was camouflaged, and best of all, my water feature was finished. You see the adjustability of it. You can have it high or low. We go low, down.
Oh.
No, that's off. Up, there, or up.
It kind of works.
With Sir Steve Redgrave just minutes away, Hammond unveiled his barbecue.
I've put some thought into this because for this I've not used coals, which take ages to light and give you.
Is that an
salmonella.
engine?
I've used jet engines. So we fire them up.
Jet engines?
Jet engines, 2 of them. So I'd turn them on here. Barely.
But these were tiddlers compared to the engine that would cook the meat on the rotisserie.
It's actually a V1. So I'm just going to.
What, from a doodlebug?
Yes, it's a doodlebug engine. Here we go. It is a bit more temperamental than coal, but when it works, boy does it work.
And you turn that then?
It will start turning. You have to get it up to speed. It turns the fan around, which, there you go.
Oh, that's quite
It's
good,
genius.
actually.
There you go, look at that. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, that's cooked.
It needs some adjustment. Hang on, let me just. There you go. I didn't have it set right. That's actually better. See, now that's going to grill it properly. You'll get some proper blackening of the chicken. That's
That's hot.
Oh, no.
Hang on.
No,
Oh, you
wait,
utter
wait.
pillock. No, let me do
I'm
it.
going to do it.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Ah, you've frozen my goalies.
I'm sorry.
Give it
went
to
the
me.
wrong
Give it to
way.
me.
It went the
Give it to-
wrong way.
Let me do it. Let me do it.
Oh no. He's coming up the.
Right.
So Steve Redgrave came up the drive.
I was just about ready. No, behind a tree.
They
In my
always hide
shed.
in ground force.
It's true, they didn't.
Why don't we tell him his wife did this and then we've been called in
Yeah, to put it right.
to put it right?
We're just about to start.
He's coming. Oh, God.
How do you think he'll react?
I don't know, seriously.
He's here. You go, James, go on off for the drink.
James, go on for the
No
drink.
What does he look like?
Where's the drink? Have you got the drink ready?
I've got my drink, yes.
Don't hide behind
Well,
me.
of course I can hide behind anything. Right, look happy, just look happy.
Just please, please.
Look happy
Please,
as the
Sebastian.
sound of the shed is burning in the background. Oh, he is
I've
pissed.
never been so nervous in my life.
No, I'm scared.
I'm terrified now. Is it being blank?
It's not the size, it's just
Oh
the range.
my god.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Steve Redgrave. I'm
Redgrave.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Oh my.
It's
It's what?
sport relief. I know you think we're from, it's confused. You're confused, I would imagine, because we're from Top Gear, and we thought we'd come and do
Top Gear
ground force
garden.
and make your garden improve, but we haven't quite finished.
Oh my. Oh.
But if we talk, I mean, the plans, the ideas behind it are brilliant.
Now we can talk you through some of the better things.
Some of the really. But that's one of the worst things that you're seeing there. But it has better points. Like this was a surprise, just not a good one at the end of it.
The Poles could sense the mood. We, however, would not run. We would stand together and face the problem of Steve's wrath united as one. Actually, it's Hammond's fault. Hammond put the digger on its side. Hammond chewed
That
the
is
lawn.
true.
Hammond set fire to your shed.
I think it's yours and Hammond's fault. I
think he's going to-
perfectly good shed. If he'd come out and I didn't build a shed, he'd have been clean.
May is so hung up on that poor shed. I mean, it was a nice shed. Well, it was.
How could he not be?
Do you think he's going to come out of the house again?
And kill us, yes.
Sir Steve really was incandescent. So Jeremy volunteered to be Henry Kissinger. And despite this, Sir Steve's mood did brighten.
It doesn't look good.
Did they bribe him?
But imagine, okay, summer's evening, sitting out here, the sun streaming over the fallen over digger.
Sorry about that.
Yes, there was an accident there. But look at the greenhouse, though, Sir Steve. Just
Greenhouse looks good.
the greenhouse is lovely. The Poles built that, and it works.
They're very
But this, I think you'll find, is the pièce de résistance. This, you see the water feature? Now, what I've done is I've kind of turbocharged the pump a bit.
All right, okay. Do
No,
we
because
stand back a little bit then?
No. It's you know, like you get a dribble normally of water. It'll now be, you know, it's turbo. You'll think of rowing. I think it now speaks of the man.
I've been trying for the last 8 years to not think about rowing.
Ready? So, Steve. There we go.
Oh no, it's gonna.
Oh God. I'm sorry about what it's done to the greenhouse.
It's
Yeah.
completely destroyed it.
That's unfortunate.
So
Hey,
there
now they
you
got time to
are.
put the fire out.
So Steve Redgrave, Lady Anne, children, this is your new garden.
Right. Okay. How likely do you think it was that after the cameras stopped rolling and the people stopped donating to Comic Relief, did people think that... I'm like really surprised that Redgrave didn't murder those three. I'll be very surprised. There's something in the... oh, actually, what's this? The top comment. In the context of his reaction being genuine, I do agree. This is hilarious. according to the book and on that bombshell about the behind the scenes of Top Gear, he was genuinely very angry, well that's one way of putting it, about the state of his garden, and Jeremy spoke to him kindly to will him out. Andy Willman, the producer, actually ended up paying for his family to go out and eat somewhere until they fixed the garden and probably all the damage and such, using experts to fix the damage. He further wanted nothing to do with Top Gear again and never did have contact again. Wow. That, you couldn't have, oh my god, like, what do you even say? I mean, listen, I can understand perfectly well that in the context of, providing a bit of, entertainment, a bit of light relief. However, something about this seems to suggest that this was done completely at the expense of Sir Steve Redgrave. I mean, yes, again, he probably didn't know, but you think Steve was angry. Imagine how Lady Anne probably must have handled this. And, how much, I'm just going to say this right now, how much damage do you think they actually did? I'd say, honestly, something maybe close to maybe, £50,000 in damages? The trees that were shot, the fire, the holes in the ground, the concrete, the thing about the tank tracks tearing up, just ruining the garden. Oh my goodness. But you know what, that was great. And I think, you know what, never mind 14 years later, that was great. May getting so passionate about the shed. Are we beyond the watershed? You are that was funny. Oh god. I've not watched Top Gear, well, mostly because Top Gear sucks nowadays. It just does. I tried watching about a few episodes, some with Chris Evans, some with Paddy McGuinness, some with Freddie Flintoff. Honestly, they were okay, but it's clearly not the same. So, if you do want me to check out the Grand Tour, I can absolutely do so. I would be an honor to check out that show. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think I need some fresh air. And also to take this stupid jacket, this visibility jacket off right now. I can't even remember, to tell you the truth, about why I decided to wear this in the first place. But there you are. That's life. Sometimes nobody knows exactly what they're doing. So I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this, and I will hope to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now. And on that bombshell, it's time to say goodnight. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.